And it is Car Con Carne here in the afternoon. I'm James Van Osdell, and I just want to get right to it. My guest today is Otis Campbell. He is a Skokie resident. He's a bicyclist. Right now, he's driving a car, but he's also a victim of overt, unashamed racism and an alleged battery. He took and was part of a viral video that has made its way across the universe and back over the past 48 hours. And he just faded from the screen. But Otis is here. There he is. Okay. We can watch the videos you posted to Twitter, but if you wouldn't mind, can you tell your story one more time? Can you explain what happened?
So let's start it off with like me and my cousin and my friend. We took a trip from Skokie to the North Shore, which is a bike ride that we take pretty often. You know, it's a 15-mile bike ride. It's a nice ride that we do all the time. And as soon as we, ended this extremely long escapade of a ride, we got to Tower Beach, and we decided to, relax and sit down. And not even within 2 minutes, this lady by the name of Irene, she came up and she told us to leave. She told us we didn't need to be here. She said that this is why Winnetka. She's from Winnetka. This is America. This is Winnetka. You need to go back where you come from, where you came from. There's a lot of racial slurs that were not slurs, but racial remarks that were said during this altercation. And this was the initial altercation when she first walked up to me and my group. And once I noticed that this was what type of intent she was on, I noticed that she left and walked to the staff and proceeded to.
Wait, you're freezing up there, Otis. She left and walked up to the staff. This, of course,
and as soon as she got to the staff, she was trying to explain to them why we couldn't be there and why this wasn't allowed. And the staff completely shut her down. The staff did a great job on explaining the park rules and what we can and what we can't do. And as soon as she saw that, Miss Irene got extremely upset, boiled over, and decided to hit me.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's it in a nutshell. I mean, you were in a public way. You were by this pier, by the beach in Wilmette, and she walked over. Full credit to the poor kid who was working the entrance as you were doing this. She handled herself beautifully, I thought.
Honestly, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for her. Honestly, I couldn't have felt any worse for this person, because she was literally the middleman of racial dispute. And once she heard her say that, and I said, oh, is it because I'm black? And Irene decided to confirm. That's when she, was like, okay, I got to go and get my manager. And the staff member decided to turn around and walk away to get the staff member, which is correct, what you should do. And Irene thought that was the time to be like, okay, let me hit this kid. And clearly it was racially driven and racially provoked that she should hit me and try to knock my phone out. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, so in the video, she said out loud, "You crazy? Maybe you want to kill me? It feels like it." And you just said very calmly, "Is it because I'm black?" Yeah. And without hesitation, she just said, "Yes." It's always surprising to me when the inside voice is used outside. I couldn't believe.
Unbelievable.
Without hesitation.
Yes.
And credit to you. I mean, we talked about the girl who's working the front entrance or whatever that was. You kept your cool throughout this experience. And while I'm sure that's largely because of who you intrinsically are, I can't help but think about that incident in Central Park that happened in May when Christian Cooper was bird watching in Central Park.
Exactly.
And there was that confrontation with the woman who said, "An African-American man is threatening my life."
Yep.
Escalation, historically speaking, doesn't favor people of color. So I'm sure that's something that sadly you have to think about in a situation like this, where clearly you're being targeted or whatever. You're the
wrongly judged.
Yeah, wrongly judged. white privilege being what it is, this is something that I'm sure you probably that ran through your mind as you were. I'm sure you wanted to start screaming or
Oh my God, yeah, I would have loved to scream. I would have loved to do everything that they were saying in the comments, but that's not how, how to handle a situation as a black male, which is the most targeted thing to walk on America right now. You cannot do that. If you did that, I would have probably been another Floyd, another person to get killed by the cops, another person to get slammed and strangled by the cops. There's a few things that went into play into that, and to me making that decision. That's my.
Here's my concern, a concern. Situations like this, like these, should be teachable moments. But I really do realize, I mean, watching this woman, racism like that is so deeply ingrained. I mean, she seemed legitimately fearful of being in the presence of a black man. Like,
Yeah.
how do you teach? How do you change that? And I realize it's a question you can't answer, but
Nope.
that's. I walked away from watching that video just thinking, oh my God, we have so far to go, and I don't even know how to climb that hill in some respects.
Honestly, like when it comes to like changing and being able to understand, like, oh, this is a whole like not only a curse, but it's like a problem that will always be a thing because it's ingrained. It's not like I said before, like when you're a minority, you kind of wear it on your skin. You wear it like a badge of honor. It doesn't matter white, black. Like you can like there's many differences that you can tell from a minority and a normal majority, racial majority. So when it comes to me being black, there's a way that you hold yourself. There's a way that you hold yourself as a standard. There's a way that you make sure you're gonna come home tonight. There's a way that I make sure my mom isn't worried. I have to talk. I have to make sure that when I do talk, I articulate myself. I'm not sounding like somebody that wouldn't be perceived as who I am, because that's the fucked up thing that the world lives in. It's like the world wants to be able to express themselves. The world as themselves needs to be explained as a whole, not as, oh, race one, race two, race three, oh, tax bracket one, tax bracket two, tax bracket three. Oh, there's all these ways to just differentiate in a level system to being a human, which is just demoralizing already, just to see like, oh, hey, you're not as good as that guy. Sorry, you're not going to get as good as a car. Or you're not as good as that guy. Sorry, you're not going to get paid as much. Or you know what I mean? So it's just like, when it comes down to it, that's where it all boils down to. It doesn't boil down to this lady as being a racist, but what drove her there, what boiled it in down to her DNA that is passed down to her kids, to her grandkids, to the people around her that agree with what she did. Like it's not a single moment, it's more of like a whole umbrella, um just overall time lapse that needs to happen.
Yeah, and you were clearly targeted because of your skin color. I couldn't,
Yeah.
as I watched this video, I couldn't imagine her doing the same thing to a group of white people who were just hanging out in that same area on the beach. There's no way.
Yeah, and you can see there were in the video, you can actually see multiple white people walking towards the pier and literally doing what we're doing, but not black. So there was a whole reason. Like, she didn't say a word to them. She didn't ask, didn't pay them any mind. But when she did pay us a mind was when she could see a difference. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell right there.
So what do you hope the outcome is? She has a court date at the end of the month. What do you hope will happen, or what do you expect will happen?
Honestly, like I can expect anything at this point. Like it's not up to me. This is definitely a court system thing. And if it comes down to it, like it was a clean cut hate crime, clean cut, clear hate crime. She's charged for battery, and let's just see what the judge says, and let's see what happens on the 31st. I can't really talk much about it.
Right.
It's more of like it's definitely legal stuff, and I would love to express my feelings on it, but I can't. The court date's the 31st, so as soon as that goes up, and we'll figure it out from there.
I totally get it, and I'm sorry you were the victim of everything in this video, but
Yeah.
on the other side of it, I'm glad that you recorded everything. We can't stop seeing stuff like this. We have to, this stuff needs to be seen and exposed and discussed. We can't ignore that. Right there on the beach in Wilmette, in this bucolic little town, there's just disgusting racism. And I think
Winnetka. Not
oh,
Winnetka.
sorry, Winnetka.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. You're good.
They're neighbors.
Yeah.
They sometimes
it's all the North Shore.
It's all the North Shore. Just keep driving down Sheridan Road. You'll hit one of them. All right. Well, I'm sorry that happened. Thank you for sharing your story on social and for sharing your story with us here. It's I know you've had a hell of a week so far.
Yeah. Wild. Thank you, honestly, for having me and like just getting this story out there. And whoever's following you, hopefully they can understand that, you know, it's not the fact that she is a horrible person. She's probably a great person. Like I said before, she's probably a great mom. She's probably a great wife. She's probably a great grandparent. She probably has kids, all of that. She has a business. She's probably successful. She probably came here from a different country and made it. And she's living the American dream. But I don't have a problem with her. That's not the problem. Like Irene as a whole, that's not the problem. She's a great woman. And whatever I said in any videos that were like, did I get cut out?
Your video's gone. Oh, there you are.
Okay, so yeah, whatever I was saying before that was like either any type of derogatory, anything that may have slipped out in any video of me saying it wasn't that I meant any of that. It was definitely a heat of the moment thing, and she's a great woman. But the thing that the public and what I have a problem with is Irene the racist. She probably is a great human being that can talk to everybody normally. She definitely can address a normal situation. She's successful. She lives in a great place. It was just when she sees Black people, when she sees a minority, when she's thinking irrationally, that's the problem.
We just lost him. We definitely had some connectivity issues. That right there was Otis Campbell. You can watch the video. It's circulating everywhere. I think every news organization has shared it and covered it. I appreciate him sharing his story. Preston just came on Facebook Live and said she is not a great woman. Yeah, I thought he was being far more polite in his overview and diplomatic, but yeah, you know, you don't do that sort of stuff. Oh wait, here comes Otis one more time. There you go. I was just wrapping up, Otis.
Okay.
But we got a comment on Facebook, which I started to address. Someone said she is not a great woman. You are being very diplomatic.
Yeah. No, I honestly think she is. I honestly think she can have a huge potential when it comes to anything. Like she's 65 years old. She's made it this far, but I just think that she made the wrong decision right then and there. It wasn't that she as a whole, like her whole life, she's been making these decisions, you know?
Fair. All right. Thank you, everyone who's been watching on Facebook Live. Much appreciated.